The Hollywood Walk of Fame was a dazzling spectacle by day, a stretch of shimmering stars embedded in the pavement, each bearing the name of a legend. Tourists flocked to the area, their laughter and chatter filling the air as they snapped pictures, with the names of their idols. But as night fell, the atmosphere changed. The vibrant energy dissipated, replaced by an eerie stillness. The streetlights cast long shadows, and the stars on the ground seemed to glimmer less brightly. On one such night, an unexplainable chill swept through the boulevard, and the first whispers of a sinister presence began to spread among the locals. It started with a janitor who worked late shifts, cleaning the Walk of Fame. He spoke of hearing footsteps that didn't belong to him, of seeing a shadow darting just out of sight. No matter how much he tried to convince himself it was his imagination, the feeling of being watched was too real to ignore. Word of the mysterious figure began to spread. Street performers who lingered after hours reported seeing a tall, dark silhouette standing motionless in the distance, only to vanish when approached. Security guards patrolling the area spoke of an oppressive feeling that weighed down on them, making the night shifts unbearable. Tourists who ventured out late at night returned with tales of unexplained whispers and fleeting shadows. One particularly chilling account came from a young couple who claimed to have seen the figure up close. They described it as a man dressed in an old-fashioned suit, his face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat. His presence was unsettling, but what terrified them most was his eyes, or rather, the lack of them. Where his eyes should have been, there were only hollow, dark voids. As the stories grew more frequent and detailed, the media caught wind of the phenomenon. News outlets sensationalized the reports, dubbing the entity the Hollywood Haunter. Paranormal investigators flocked to the area armed with cameras, audio, recorders, and other ghost hunting equipment. They conducted overnight vigils, hoping to capture evidence of the mysterious figure. Some claimed to have recorded faint whispers or caught glimpses of a shadowy figure on video. But skeptics dismissed these as tricks of light or overactive imaginations. Still, the stories persisted, and the Walk of Fame's reputation began to shift. What was once a glamorous tourist destination became a place of morbid curiosity. Among those drawn to the mystery was a local historian named Evelyn Hart. She had spent years researching Hollywood's golden age and was intrigued by the possibility that the haunting could be linked to a forgotten piece of the area's history. Evelyn began poring over old newspapers, police records, and studio archives, searching for clues. What she found was a chilling tale from the 1930s about a struggling actor named Victor Crane. Victor had been a promising talent, but his career never took off. Desperate for fame, he was said to have made a pact with a shadowy figure who promised him eternal recognition. But the deal came at a cost. Victor's career ended in tragedy when he mysteriously vanished during the premiere of his first major film. His body was never found, and his name faded into obscurity, until now. Evelyn's research convinced her that Victor Crane and the Hollywood Haunter were one and the same. She shared her findings with a group of paranormal enthusiasts who agreed to help her conduct an investigation. They planned to perform a midnight séance on the Walk of Fame, hoping to communicate with Victor's spirit and uncover the truth. On the chosen night, the group gathered at the spot where Victor's star would have been, had he achieved the fame he so desperately desired. They formed a circle, lit candles, and began the ritual. At first, nothing happened. The air was still, and the street was eerily quiet. But as the group chanted Victor's name, a cold wind swept through the area, extinguishing the candles. The temperature dropped suddenly, and the sound of footsteps echoed around them. The group froze as a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. It was the Hollywood Haunter. He stood at the edge of the circle, his hollow eyes fixed on Evelyn. She felt a wave of fear, but also a strange sense of familiarity, as if she had seen him before. Summoning her courage, she addressed the figure. "Victor," she said, "we know who you are. We want to help you find peace." The figure remained silent, but the oppressive atmosphere seemed to lighten slightly. Encouraged, Evelyn continued, "You don't have to be trapped here. Tell us what you need." The figure raised a hand and pointed to a nearby star on the Walk of Fame. The group turned to look, but when they turned back, the figure was gone. The star the figure had pointed to belonged to a famous producer from the 1930s, a man named Charles Whitmore. Evelyn's research revealed that Whitmore had been the last person to see Victor alive. Rumors suggested that Whitmore had exploited Victor, promising him a role in exchange for favors, but ultimately betraying him. Determined to uncover the truth, Evelyn delved deeper into Whitmore's history. She discovered a hidden scandal involving a cover-up and a secret room beneath an old theater where Whitmore had allegedly disposed of Victor's body. Armed with this information, Evelyn and her group decided to investigate the theater. The theater was abandoned, its grandeur faded with time. The group entered cautiously, their flashlights casting long shadows on the crumbling walls. They found the secret room, hidden behind a false wall in the basement. Inside, they discovered evidence that confirmed Evelyn's suspicions, personal belongings that had once belonged to Victor Crane, including a script with his name on it and a photograph of him with Whitmore. But the most chilling discovery was a diary belonging to Whitmore, detailing his betrayal of Victor and his subsequent guilt. As they read the diary, the temperature in the room plummeted, and the Hollywood haunter appeared once more. This time the figure was more transparent, his form flickering like a candle flame. Evelyn held up the diary and spoke to him. "Victor, we found the truth. Whitmore betrayed you, but now everyone will know your story. You'll be remembered." The figure seemed to hesitate, then nodded slowly. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and a sense of peace filled the room. The figure began to fade, his hollow eyes softening as he disappeared completely. Evelyn and her group left the theater, feeling a mix of relief and sorrow. They had uncovered the truth, but it had come at a cost. The haunting of the Hollywood Walk of Fame was over, but the memory of Victor Crane would live on. In the days that followed, Evelyn published her findings, and the story of Victor Crane captured the public's imagination. A campaign was launched to create a star on the Walk of Fame in his honor, ensuring that he would finally receive the recognition he had longed for. The paranormal activity ceased, and the Walk of Fame returned to its usual bustling self. But those who had encountered the Hollywood haunter would never forget the experience. Late at night, when the street was quiet and the stars glimmered faintly, some claimed to feel a gentle breeze or hear the faint sound of footsteps. Perhaps Victor Crane's spirit had truly found peace, or perhaps a part of him would always linger, watching over the boulevard that had once been his dream.